Rajesh was a man who had given up on life. He was in his late 30s, and his rough, weathered face made him look much older. His sharp features and piercing eyes were overshadowed by a scruffy beard and unkempt hair. He had lost his job a year ago and struggled to make ends meet. Rajesh lived in a small, cramped apartment in a rundown neighborhood. He spent most of his days holed up in his room, feeling sorry for himself. His only companions were his thoughts, and they were not kind to him. One day, as he was walking down the street, he saw a help-wanted sign in a local restaurant window. The owner, a kind-hearted woman named Sophia, was desperate for a new cook. Rajesh decided to apply, hoping for a fresh start. Sophia was taken aback by Rajesh's rough appearance, but she saw something in his eyes that made her give him a chance. She hired him on the spot, and Rajesh was grateful for the opportunity. As he began working in the kitchen, Rajesh discovered a passion for cooking he never knew he had. He threw himself into his work, experimenting with new recipes and ingredients. Sophia was impressed by his talent and work ethic, and soon, the restaurant was bustling with customers raving about the new cook's dishes. Rajesh's confidence began to grow, and he started to see himself in a new light. He shaved his beard, cut his hair, and started wearing clean, ironed clothes to work. Sophia noticed the change in him and encouraged him to keep pushing forward. One day, a food critic from the local newspaper came to the restaurant to review the menu. Rajesh was nervous but determined to impress. He prepared his signature dish, a spicy curry that had become a customer favorite. The food critic, a notoriously tough reviewer, was blown away by the flavors and presentation of Rajesh's curry. He asked to meet the chef, and Sophia proudly introduced Rajesh as the mastermind behind the dish. The critic was taken aback by Rajesh's transformation from a rough-looking man to a confident, skilled chef. He asked Rajesh about his story, and Rajesh shared his journey from a struggling, unemployed man to a passionate cook. The critic's review was glowing, praising not only the food but also Rajesh's inspiring story. The restaurant became a sensation, with people flocking to meet the ugly man who had turned his life around through cooking. Rajesh became a local celebrity, and his newfound fame brought opportunities he never thought possible. He started teaching cooking classes, sharing his passion with others. He even landed a cookbook deal, writing about his journey and sharing his favorite recipes. As Rajesh's cookbook became a bestseller, he started receiving invitations to cook at culinary festivals and events around the world. He traveled to new cities, meeting fellow chefs and food enthusiasts who admired his work. One evening, at a festival in Paris, Rajesh met a talented young chef named Layla. She was impressed by his story and his cooking, and they struck up a conversation that lasted long into the night. Layla was inspired by Rajesh's journey and saw potential for collaboration. She proposed a new project: a cooking show that would feature Rajesh's recipes and story, with a twist. They would travel to different countries, exploring local ingredients and cooking techniques. Rajesh was hesitant at first, but Layla's enthusiasm was infectious. They pitched the idea to a production company, and to their surprise, it was greenlit. And so, Flavors of Hope was born, a cooking show that would take Rajesh and Layla on a global culinary adventure. The first season of Flavors of Hope was a massive success, with Rajesh and Layla traveling to India, Italy, and Mexico, exploring local markets, cooking with local chefs, and sharing Rajesh's inspiring story with a global audience. As the show's popularity grew, so did Rajesh's fame. He became a household name, and his cookbook sales skyrocketed. He was hailed as a culinary icon, and his rags to riches story inspired millions. But Rajesh never forgot his humble beginnings. He used his platform to support social causes, advocating for education and job training programs for underprivileged youth. Layla and Rajesh's partnership blossomed into a deep friendship, and they continued to travel the world, exploring new flavors and sharing their passion for food and storytelling. In the show's second season, they visited Japan, Brazil, and South Africa, discovering hidden gems and cooking with local legends. Rajesh's signature curry recipe became a global phenomenon, with fans recreating it in their own kitchens. As the show's success reached new heights, Rajesh and Layla started receiving offers from restaurants and investors, wanting them to open their own culinary venture. As they considered the offers, Rajesh and Layla stumbled upon an abandoned warehouse in a trendy neighborhood. They envisioned a vibrant culinary hub where food, art, and music would come together. With the help of investors, they transformed the space into Spice Route, a restaurant, cooking school, and community center all under one roof. The grand opening was a sensation, with foodies and fans flocking to experience Rajesh's signature dishes and Layla's innovative cocktails. The restaurant quickly became a hotspot, with live music and art exhibitions adding to the eclectic atmosphere. But little did they know, their success had caught the attention of a rival chef, infamous for his ruthless tactics. He began spreading rumors, trying to tarnish Rajesh's reputation and sabotage Spice Route's success. Rajesh and Layla were devastated, but they refused to back down. They rallied their team, and together, they concocted a plan to take down the rival chef and prove the power of their culinary community. As the battle with the rival chef intensified, Rajesh and Layla's team worked tirelessly to protect their reputation and keep Spice Route thriving. But amidst the chaos, Rajesh couldn't help but feel a void in his personal life. Despite his success, he was still alone, with no one to share his triumphs and struggles with. One evening, as he was prepping for a cooking class, he met a beautiful and charming woman named Sophia. She was a food blogger, and her warm smile and kind eyes caught Rajesh off guard. They struck up a conversation, and he found himself opening up to her in ways he never thought possible. Sophia was drawn to Rajesh's passion for cooking and his inspiring story. She saw beyond his rough exterior and admired his kind heart and generosity. As they spent more time together, Rajesh realized he had found a true connection. But just as things were starting to blossom, the rival chef launched a vicious attack on Spice Route, threatening to destroy everything Rajesh and Layla had built. Rajesh was torn between his personal life and his culinary career. Rajesh was determined to protect Spice Route and his team, but he couldn't shake off the feeling that Sophia was the one person who truly understood him. As the rivalry with the other chef escalated, Rajesh found himself confiding in Sophia more and more. She became his rock, supporting him through the long nights and stressful days. And as they spent more time together, Rajesh realized he was falling deeply in love with her. But just as things were starting to look up, the rival chef made a shocking move. He challenged Rajesh to a cook-off, with the winner claiming the title of the city's best chef. Rajesh was torn. He wanted to protect his restaurant and his team, but he also wanted to prove to Sophia that he was worthy of her love. He knew he had to win, but at what cost? The day of the cook-off arrived, and the city's foodies gathered to witness the battle. Rajesh and the rival chef went head-to-head, creating dishes that were both stunning and delicious. As the judges deliberated, Rajesh's nerves were on edge. Sophia was in the crowd, cheering him on, and he knew he had to win for her. And then, the announcement, Rajesh was declared the winner. The crowd erupted in cheers, and Sophia rushed to his side, tears of joy in her eyes. Rajesh had finally found love and success, but he knew that this was just the beginning of a new chapter in his life. Rajesh and Sophia's relationship blossomed, and they became inseparable. They spent their days exploring the city's culinary scene, experimenting with new recipes, and planning their future together. As Spice Route continued to thrive, Rajesh and Layla decided to expand their culinary empire. They opened a new restaurant, Tandoor, which quickly became a sensation, with Sophia as the head chef. Rajesh and Sophia's love story was featured in food blogs and magazines, inspiring countless young chefs and food enthusiasts. They became the ultimate power couple in the culinary world. But as they basked in their success, a new challenge emerged. A prominent food critic, known for his scathing reviews, announced that he would be visiting Tandoor. Rajesh and Sophia were nervous but determined to impress. The night of the review, the restaurant was buzzing with tension. The critic arrived, and Rajesh and Sophia presented him with their signature dishes. The verdict was unanimous. Tandoor was a masterpiece, and Rajesh and Sophia were the dynamic duo of the culinary world. As they celebrated their triumph, Rajesh turned to Sophia and proposed. She said yes, and they shared a kiss as the restaurant erupted in cheers and applause. Their wedding was a grand affair, with the city's foodies and celebrities in attendance. Layla was the maid of honor, and the rival chef even made a surprise appearance, finally conceding defeat. Rajesh and Sophia lived happily ever after, their love and passion for food inspiring a new generation of chefs and food enthusiasts. And Spice Route and Tandoor remained the go-to destinations for culinary excellence, a testament to the power of love, hard work, and delicious food. Rajesh and Sophia's love story became a legend in the culinary world, inspiring countless young chefs and food enthusiasts. They continued to innovate and experiment, opening new restaurants and exploring new flavors. Years went by, and their restaurants became institutions, beloved by foodies and locals alike. Rajesh and Sophia grew old together, but their passion for food and love for each other never faded. One day, as they sat on their porch, surrounded by the aromas of their latest culinary creations, Rajesh turned to Sophia and said, "You know, my love, I never thought I'd find happiness like this." Sophia smiled, her eyes twinkling with tears. "I knew from the moment I met you, Rajesh, that you were special. And our love has been the secret ingredient in all our recipes." Rajesh nodded, his eyes shining with tears. "You're right, my love. And I'm grateful for every moment we've shared." And with that, they held hands, watching the sunset over their culinary empire, knowing that their love and legacy would live on forever.